Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we have got absolutely humongous news. Now, of course, earlier today I released a video regarding Raphael Varane and the deal, and that the deal is getting close. Varane only wanted Manchester United. About 15 minutes ago, we got further news, and it's huge. And as the title and the thumbnail suggests, Raphael Varane to Manchester United. Here we go. Alright, so this is what Fabrizio Romano has said. Raphael Varane to Manchester United, here we go. Agreement almost done between Manchester United and Real Madrid. Just final details to be completed, and then paperwork time. It's a matter of hours or days. Here we go. Now, look, we all know how reliable Fabrizio Romano is. Romano doesn't tweet unless a deal's going to happen. We know this. And what's he done? He's tweeted, this deal's happening. This deal is really, really happening. And you should believe. Here we go. Yes, Jonathan. And look, I mean, like I said, I spoke about this deal in what's it called? Yesterday / this morning. The deal is huge. Look, while the whole Glazers out movement is still a massive thing, and rightly so, it's a step in the right direction. We want the Glazers out because the lack of development in the squad, the state that they've left the women's team in, Old Trafford, the signings of recent years, and just the level of incompetency since the very start of their reign. But in a way, and look, like I said, we all still want the Glazers out. If they pull their finger out and they actually change for the better and they become like a Man City owner, then the whole Glazers out movement will change, won't it? And be different. But what is important to remember, Sancho and Varane aren't it. We have to expect more. Sancho was a deal we should have got done last summer. We didn't. So that deal, while of course it's a fucking amazing deal, and like Jonathan said there, what a bargain it was to get Varane. And as David, you've said there, what a transfer window, Sancho and Varane. Sancho should have been done last year. Varane is the first spot and first player this summer. For me, in my eyes. Now go get a defensive midfielder. Go get a Camavinga. Go get a Declan Rice, a Wilfred Ndidi, a Rodri, a Fabinho. Obviously, when it comes to Rodri and Fabinho, it doesn't have to be specifically them two, but plays in that ilk. A player that can hold a midfield on his own, rather than have to play for being a Fred and McTominay together. Allow Pogba to play in midfield where he's best. And let's get our best team going. And let's actually go compete for a title for once. Look, it's a fantastic deal. It really is. And now, look, like I said, going back over, this is what Fabrizio Romano tweeted. Of course, we are going to get some salty rival fans saying, oh, Varane's not that good, he's past it, or whatever. I mean, as what this Chelsea fan said here, look, they're biased. Varane is world class. He's a 4-time Champions League winner, a 3-time La Liga champion, a World Cup winner. He's a winner. He's an incredible centre-back, and he suits Harry Maguire down to a T. He's quick, good in the air, like I said, he's quick, so he can recover and make up for Maguire's lack of pace. And he's just a fantastic centre-half. He's a leader. He's everything you want in a centre-back, and he's certainly one of the top centre-backs in world football. And we're getting him, as Jonathan said, for a bargain. Now, like I said, we don't know the official price, or as far as I'm aware, that hasn't been released. Yesterday, RMC Sport was reporting that his valuation is around 45 to 55 million euros. Whether or not that is going to be the sort of price, we're not sure. We'll have to wait and find out. I know, especially his pace at centre back. He's got some. Yeah, exactly. He knows how to win, and that's so important. I mean, of course, like I've said, constantly. What was I going to say? This idea that you have to have won trophies before to win, make you be able to win trophies, or the number of trophies you've won indicates how good of a player is. I don't agree with that. But what you can say with Rafael Varane is he's been a big part of Real Madrid winning trophies. And while I don't think it's crucial, to have players that know how to do it is, of course, valuable. And Varane is that. What have I just pressed? Some random guy. It's coming home. And look, do I think this signing of Rafael Varane will propel us to a Premier League title? If I'm honest, no. And look, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think it will. And that's because we still need a defensive midfielder. I think I said something from the very beginning. I don't know if I've ever said it directly on this channel, but a defensive midfielder was more important for me than a centre back. A defensive midfielder would improve the attack and defence, because it's a player that will link the play. We'll get the ball from the centre backs and get it forward a lot quicker than we do, which has been a big problem for Manchester United. We're too slow at getting it forward. And a defensive midfielder sorts that, because that's their job. Of course, a defensive midfielder is there to win the ball and obviously be, as it says, a defensive midfielder. But it's also of dictating the play, dictating the tempo, getting the ball from the centre backs and bringing it forward. And at the moment, unless the Nemanja Matic can play every single game, we don't have that still. So, while I'm very, very happy with Rafael Varane, of course I am. He's absolutely unbelievable. And he is one of the best centre-backs in world football. He has to. We have to get a defensive midfielder if we want to be challenging for Premier League titles. However, that being said, I agree with you, NG. We have to be looking to win a cup. We've been so close to winning FA Cups, League Cups, and Europa Leagues since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. Now we've got a centre-back and Jadon Sancho. There is no more excuses. No more excuses. Mate, Jason. No, not Jason, sorry. Jonathan, sorry. Everyone thinks McFred should be replaced. Unless the manager would... Donny van der Beek can't play defensive midfield. Look, Ajax, Donny van der Beek played in defensive midfield a bit after Frankie de Jong left. But playing defensive midfield for Ajax is very different to playing defensive midfield for Manchester United. And yeah, Matic is quite old, and that's the biggest worry with Matic. And why I keep saying we desperately need a defensive midfielder. Matic, in his prime Chelsea days would be perfect. But he's not that anymore. He's old. And based off last year, I don't think he can play every single game. Well, if he could, I don't know why he didn't. Because he's better than better than McTominay, better than Fred. My worry is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes that McTominay is capable of playing defensive midfielder, which he's not. Well, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen of Scott McTominay, he's never shown to me that he can play as a defensive midfielder. And my worry is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes he can and will try it. James Garner, maybe. Look, at the start of the season or coming up into pre-season, I was thinking, what's the worst that could happen with putting James Garner in DM? But I think, look, we saw Man United play Derby in pre-season. Obviously, I watched that game, did a watch along for it. I will be doing watch alongs for the Brentford games and so on. I don't see James Garner being at the level yet. He didn't look great in that pre-season. And look, of course, look, there'll be more pre-seasons, and let's see how he gets on. I think another loan for James Garner is best. Thanks for all the injuries, Phil Jones. I mean, I saw earlier that Man United are going to let Phil Jones go for free. Look, we're going to have to, for that to happen, we're going to have to pay him off. Because he's not going to just agree to leave, is he? And that's the issue with Phil Jones. To get rid of him, you're paying him off. Because nobody is coming in and saying, here's 20 million, give us Phil Jones. Nobody is. Right, I'm quickly going to go check out reports regarding this move and see if anyone has tweeted out regarding the Varane deal and potentially a price. Phil Jones has cracked my guy and he's already taken. What's your opinion on the rumours that Martial? You can't sell Martial. Cannot sell Martial at all. You just look. I in the next coming days. Well, today I was meant to record a video on my opinions on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's contract because I know it's been a controversial one. And then the day after, I was meant to make a video on my best starting 11. And to me, Martial would start. I'm a massive fan of Anthony Martial. And those who have been on this channel for a while would know that. I would say no chance at all we should be selling Martial. No chance. So basically, United just allowed Varane to go back to training. Yeah, well, the thing is with Varane. Varane has made it very clear since the very start that he is not going to ruin his relationship with what's his name? With Real Madrid. I don't believe he isn't. I think last season he had a bad year. But so did Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial had very similar seasons last year where, well, Martial had a better season in my opinion than Greenwood. Martial and Greenwood, up until Paul Pogba started playing on the left, weren't scoring loads of goals. But Martial's actual game was 10 times better. Kept the ball better. Was better creatively. We had a better win ratio for the large majority of the season when Martial started compared to when he didn't. He wins so many free kicks and helps so much more. But because he weren't scoring goals, it was, oh, he's playing awfully. When Greenwood was doing the same, but it was the, oh, he's young. It doesn't matter. Paul Pogba started playing on the left wing when just around, well, it was a week or so after Martial got injured. And all of a sudden, Greenwood starts scoring. Cavani starts scoring loads. And Rashford dried up. And it was with Rashford, it became, oh, Rashford's injured. So for me, it's always an excuse when it's everyone else but Martial. The problem last year was that our strikers and anyone but Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford got absolutely no service. So when Pogba came on the left, Cavani and Greenwood started getting loads of service. And I think this was proven in the Europa League final when Paul Pogba went back into midfield and it was Rashford on the left, Bruno at 10, Greenwood on the right and Cavani up top. Cavani got absolutely nothing. We were awful again. It's so obvious that this front line of Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood and Cavani doesn't work. And when it was what's his name? up top at the end of lockdown, Martial. It worked because of Martial and how much work he put in up top. And I look, Martial was top goal scorer for us 2 years ago. Was absolutely brilliant. Was our player of the year. He's an amazing player. For me, he's better than Rashford, better than Greenwood. Obviously, that's going to be an unpopular opinion. I think Marcus Rashford is massively overrated. But look, that's my personal opinion. Well, let's stop talking about all that. We can talk about that at a later date when I do my video about what my starting 11 would be coming into next season. Do you think Pogba will stay? I think Pogba will stay this season. Then we'll probably go on a free unless we actually start competing for Premier League titles, and then he might stay. But I'm not sure. It's been so yeah. I mean, it's an exciting time. It really, really is, and we should all be excited because it is a big deal. So, from what I can tell, there has been no There's been no price announced or whatever. Bruno, Pogba, Martial, Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood all sold to make up. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised now in this board. Like, our board is absolutely rubbish, and that's the type of stuff they do. Right, so I don't think anything's actually coming on. Ooh. So I'm just looking through Twitter. This is regards to Phil Jones. One report suggests that United are willing to let Phil Jones leave on a free. Well, no shit, we are. Jesse Lingard, Brandon Williams, Diogo Dalot, Telles, Phil Jones, and potentially could all be leaked. Mark Ogden there's just saying, look, and out of that list from United Scoop, Lingard I let go of, Williams or Dalot, one of the two should leave. Whether that's on a loan or sold, one of them two should leave. Probably Williams. I think Dallot's better than him. Although what Williams brings is versatility. Well, no, so can Dalot. Williams should be gone. Telles has to stay. Jones can fuck off. Pereira can fuck off. Dan James, I'd keep him. And Martial should obviously stay. Phil Jones will not join West Ham, obviously. Dalot should stay, I agree. Apparently Williams won't be loaned up because Shaw's intelligence is injured. Well, that's the thing. Dalot can play as a left back. And is Williams that great as a left back? I don't think he's that great. He's alright, sure, but I don't think he's amazing. So I would let go of Williams and play Dalot as a left back. But I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rates Dalot. I think ever since Dalot's come into Manchester United, he's pretty much exclusively been played on the left as a winger, hasn't he? Or as if he does play, he's part of a five at the back. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusts Dalot defensively. But look, that's just my opinion. Just quickly to go. Oh, hold on. Dalot is much more experienced since yeah. I don't think he wasn't a regular, I don't think. He might have been, don't get me wrong. I didn't think he was a regular at what's it called? At Milan, but he may have been. Only wants. Look, Seal. Today I was actually meant to record a video regarding the whole Ole Gunnar Solskjaer contract and giving my honest thoughts on it all. So that will coming out probably tomorrow. And that's where we can have a more of an in-depth chat about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And my thoughts on the whole thing. And I'll be honest, I'll be open about the whole thing. Obviously, we can have a chat going in the comments below in that video. Unless we sign Trippier and Ollie starts to use him in left back. Look, for me, Dalot should stay. Williams should be going. Williams for me has always been a right back. He's massively right-footed. Dalot should be playing as a left back for me, or a right back, whatever. Dalot is class under 21s and Euros. To be fair, Dalot only got called up for the Euros when Cancelo got injured and was only used in one game. I'm not sure you can say he was class. And I'm not counting under 21 games. I mean, Ahmad's been class for the under 21s. Shola Shortai has been brilliant for the under 21s. So is Alanga. They've been good for United, but I wouldn't say they've not been. The levels between under 21 football and senior football is so big. Well, for these live streams or whatever, I use a Logitech webcam. Is it like this? Where's the box? The C9020 Pro HD. And for the videos, I just use my iPhone. But yeah, like I said, I would play Dalot. I would have Dalot as part of the squad. I don't think he's as good as a lot of people think. I think when we played AC Milan and he was rubbish. So we do need a defensive midfielder, and that's the big thing now that we are missing. We will not challenge for titles, and we shouldn't. Look, people will use this as a stick to beat Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with, but you will not win Premier League titles without a defensive midfielder. It just doesn't happen. Man City, they've prioritised defensive midfielders. They had Fernandinho and they paid £60 million to get Rodri. You know, when did Liverpool start competing for Premier League titles? When they signed Fabinho. Without a proper DM, no matter what manager you are, you will not compete for Premier League titles. It doesn't happen. Tell me one team that has won a Premier League title without a defensive midfielder. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Because they are too big. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get the box. It's this. Logitech C9020 Pro. Yeah, so defensive midfielders is the big one. And if we can get a defensive midfielder, we will go on leaps and bounds, both defensively and attackingly. Because, like I keep saying, a defensive midfielder does so much. It links the play, and it defends. The problem, a big problem Manchester United have, is that we are too slow at getting it from back to front. So what happens is we start to play out from the back. McTominay and Fred not good enough at getting the ball forward and passing through the lines. So we end up knocking it around for about a minute before we get it to our front line. And what that means is, let's say Liverpool, for this example, Liverpool can get all 11 players behind the ball. So we're trying to break down 11 players. Whereas with a defensive midfielder, they set the tempo. So they can get the ball moving a lot quicker, get it to the front line a bit quicker. And instead of trying to break down 11 players, for example, you're trying to break down 5. And obviously that means there's more space and it's easier. And it just that they know they're just smarter than McTominay and Fred. And they play a ball maybe one pass quicker than what Fred or McTominay would do. So a defensive midfielder just dictates the game. It's hard to explain, but they do. Michael Carrick was vital for Manchester United in years gone by. Obviously, Rodri is. We saw Man City in the Champions League final without a Rodri or Fernandinho. They were all over the place. A DM is massive, and you don't win stuff without DMs. I've got to go to work. Good luck with the stream. In a bit still. Enjoy yourself, mate. But look, just to go over everything that's been going on. If I quickly go back to the Fabrizio Romano tweet. Here we go. Varane to Manchester United. Agreement almost done between Manchester United and Real Madrid. Just final details to be completed, and then paperwork. It's just a matter of hours or days. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Varane has a total agreement on personal terms too. So basically, we agree final details with Real Madrid. That will be stuff like a final deal, a final fee, how that fee will be paid, whether that's up front, over installments, so on and so forth. And then we go. Then obviously we go to contract talks, which, as Fabrizio Romano has just said there will be no concerns there. They're pretty much done. So Rafael Varane to Manchester United is pretty much done. Of course, I will go live, or at least a video will be made when when Manchester United announce the Varane deal. But until then, we are done here. Make sure you do like this stream if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And like always, I will keep you up to date with all things Manchester United here on this channel. All transfer news and headlines, and well, all things football really. Obviously, while I am a Manchester United fan and we do talk a lot about Manchester United, this is a football channel. We talk about all things football, Premier League, Champions League. We do watch-alongs for all the Man United games, and just interesting games like Champions League games, so on and so forth. So that does sound like a bit of you, and you are new, please do subscribe, hit that like button down below. Like I said, this is going to be it. Thank you all for watching. Rafael Varane to Manchester United. Here we go. In a bit. Peace.